Welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM on our Labor Day long weekend. Of course, let's head up to our friends up in Queensland. It is an absolute honour to have my favourite club, Yeronga South Brisbane Footy Club on the show. Of course, they play in the QAFLW competition, which of course starting very, very soon. And of course, we've got two very special guests from the Devils to tell us a bit about the upcoming season for Yeronga. Thanks both for joining us.
Thanks for having us. We're excited to chat about the season. It's been a long pre-season, so we're looking forward to the start.
I'll get both of you to introduce yourselves and what position you're hoping to play once the season starts.
All right, I'll go first. My name's Courtney. I have played at Yeronga for about 7, maybe 8 years now, and I'm hoping to play up forward this year. I don't think there's any question I would never end up down back. I don't think they'd trust me back there. But yeah, would hope to play and have played forward there for a number of years now.
I'm Pepper, and this is my 3rd year at Yeronga this year, and I'm hoping to play in the ruck and maybe a bit down back as well. I've been experimenting there throughout the preseason, so we'll see how we go.
So how's the preseason been like for the Devils this year?
It's been actually really good. Everyone's been up and about. It feels like there's a new energy this year compared to, the last 2 years where I've been here. It feels like this year is just really, everyone's reset and over the off season and come back with a new energy and just really ready for the season. Yeah,
totally. It's been really good. We've had a lot of, pretty much every girl from last year has stuck around, and we've added a couple of new girls, lots through the junior pathways from Yeronga, from Kenmore. We had a few come from there as well, and they bring a whole different energy to everyone else too. So it's been like a really nice gel together of all of those levels of experience too, and especially those younger girls who maybe were in their 1st or 2nd year of seniors last year have come back this pre-season, and like skills have gone through the roof, fitness has gone through the roof. You can see like a real improvement in those players as well, which was really great to come back. That's all right. Yeah, it's been a really great preseason, and lots of those younger girls have come back, and their skills have gone up another level, and their fitness has gone up another level. And so it's a really great base for us to be starting in preseason and now moving into round 1. I'm excited to sort of see everyone come together on the field. Will be great.
Tell us a bit about your coaches.
Coaches are great. We've had a couple of new ones join this year. We've had our head coach, Stuart Buff, we call him. He used to be at the club a couple of years ago, and then went and coached at Sherwood for a bit and has come back now as our head coach. And he's been great. He's a really great people person. He's obviously got a really high level of knowledge about footy and game plan and all of that too, but just like a really great people person to have around the club. And so are the others. He's had 2 new ones join as well, Sachs and Barnsey, who he's worked with in the past. And again, it's nice having sort of the only one that really stayed is Matt, and that's Pepper's dad. So we've had a whole new coaching group outside of that, and it's nice, like all new fresh ideas and fresh faces all at once. But yeah, they all are working really well together. So it's been nice coming in and kind of resetting attitude, resetting standards and all of that with a whole new coaching group leading that as well.
It's nice to have a lot of different coaches with different experiences as well, even if it's not to do with footy. Like, they've had high level experiences in different sports, so it brings a whole new, lots of new ideas and things to the group. So it's good to have.
So Pepper, obviously one of those coaches is your dad. How's the conversations been like at home?
Just, nothing much changes. He's coached me for a couple of years now, so I'm used to everything by now. But no, it's really good, especially to have a familiar face around after moving up here. So it's not like I usually separate footy and home life with him. So yeah, it's good.
Do you get a choice of where you want to play?
Yeah, it's not like he doesn't like set anything out for me. I'm my own person. So yeah, he doesn't try to influence me too much or influence the conversations around me. So yeah.
I know that the team struggled last year in the 23 season. I guess what sort of things have you sort of improved on in the pre-season to hopefully bring the team back to the glory years and hopefully back to a premiership race like you did maybe 3 or 4 years ago now?
I think this year we've really focused on gelling together as a team a lot better, whether that's from one line to another on the field or just getting to know everyone off the field. We've had a few social events so far to really bring the team together and get to know, especially the newer girls that have come along. So I think, yeah, just that team connection has been a really big focus for us this year, and hopefully that will show for us on the field as well.
Yeah, that connection as well, like Pep just said, has translated well onto the field. Last year, line groups worked pretty well independently, but it was the connection between those. We sort of didn't understand each other's strategies or how they played. And feel like this year we have a bit better of an understanding of how the backs, mids and forwards work and how they can link together a bit better. You know, and that's from the coaching group taking us all through game strategy and game plans as a group instead of splitting off into line groups. So, you know, that connection, like Pep said, through the social events and just knowing each other a little bit better is, you know, also then double down, I guess, in understanding how each other's going to play on the field too.
Let's talk a bit about both your football journeys. Where did it all start and why did you choose it?
You go first, Donza.
Okay. I started playing football I think it was about 7 or 8 years ago. It was, I was always a football fan, and I worked for the Brisbane Lions for about 9 years, and I only recently finished up there. But during that time, was there when they started the AFLW program, and had never really thought about playing football before. I'm sure I probably played Auskick when I was in primary school, but didn't sort of have any, you know, desire or I guess to play it after that. And when while we were starting up the AFLW team at the Lions, met some great people there, and Emily Bates and Kate McCarthy were the two players who I met at the very start. And I remember we were at a photo shoot when they first got picked up, and we were just chatting, and they mentioned that Yeronga was looking for new players, and I thought, well, why not? May as well go give it a go. And yeah, that's kind of how I ended up at Yeronga, and never sort of thought about going anywhere else. It was great, and a lot of those relationships I made through work with a lot of those Lions girls played with Yeronga too, so it was kind of an easy connection to have there. And obviously watching a lot of footy from the sidelines for a couple of years then translated pretty well into being able to play it as well, which was handy. So yeah, yeah, that was 2017, I think it was. So had some great years then with a lot of those Lions girls. Back playing QAFL footy and being able to play with them was great. And now I guess being a little bit more senior here is really great as well to, you know, help change some other or you know, work with other parts of the club outside of just on field. And Pep does a great job of that too. She coaches our junior teams as well, and you kind of get really involved with other parts of the club, which has been really fun. Just making more connections through there too. So yeah, that's kind of my footy journey. How about you, Pep?
Well, I grew up in Melbourne, so more of a footy state than up here. But I didn't start playing until I was about 12, I think, turning 13. And I started playing at Darebin Falcons, which is one of like the powerhouse clubs down in Melbourne. So grateful to have had that opportunity to be around such great players when I was younger. And I went to a come and try day for Falcons, and Lauren Arnell was there, and she was the first footy person I'd ever met. And she just said, well, the first thing she said to me is, why are you wearing a Fremantle top? And then, yeah, so then she said, come and join in and see how you go. And they only had one junior team apart from like the really young kids. So I joined into the under 18s team when I was 12. And I spent most of the first season on the bench just watching, but I think that was the best thing for me, just to watch how the older girls did it and learnt lots of things off them that I still play with now. So yes, played in the juniors at Darebin Falcons for quite a few years, went through a few of the rep programs and pathways like Calder Cannons, NAB League, all of that stuff. And then I had 1 year in the VFLW with the Falcons, which was an absolute dream come true after being in their juniors program for so long. And then moved up here and reconnected with Lauren Arnell again, as she was coaching the Brisbane Lions Academy. So had 1 year with them up here and just joined Yeronga because she just said it was the best club up here and it was the most like Falcons that she'd ever seen. So yeah, I've been here ever since and I'm loving it. Wouldn't think about moving anywhere else anytime soon.
So, Pepper, now I have to ask you this. Now, we just spoke earlier that obviously, I know obviously Courts is a Lions fan. You're a Freo fan. Obviously, both teams are playing this week. But I have to ask, you're from Melbourne. Why are you a Freo fan?
I know it's a bit odd, but my dad is from Perth, so
Oh,
he
okay.
goes for Freo, so then I go for Freo.
Both of you have won a premiership, somewhere along the lines of your football journey. Obviously, Courts, you mentioned that you've won a couple premierships, I think, with Yeronga. And obviously,
One, yeah, just the senior one, 2020,
oh,
I think it was.
yeah, that's right. And obviously, Pep, you will won one down here in Melbourne for Darebin in the juniors. Am I
Yeah, I
correct?
won two with Darebin, yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about both the premierships that both you were involved in. Obviously for you Courts in at Yeronga, and obviously Pepper for you down here in Melbourne for Darebin.
I'll
I'll
go
go
first.
first.
Oh,
You go
go.
first. You go. Sorry. All right, I'll go. Yeah, winning the premiership was amazing. Actually, in my first year, both I played through the reserves team in my first year, and both us and the seniors made the grand final that year, and we sadly lost, but the seniors won theirs, and so that was pretty awesome in the first year to have some success like that and sort of see that team and what they did through their whole season in the seniors, and then a lot of those girls stuck around, and in 2020, the COVID year, we won the premiership, which was amazing to be a part of. It was such a great team, and I look back now and it was a pretty stacked team. Like you would have hated versing it. We had so many AFLW girls or future AFLW players, and Lauren was one of them, and she was amazing. And yeah, it was a really great team to be a part of, and an amazing season. There was I think there was 2 or 3 other teams that year, Coolangatta, who we versed in the grand final, and Cooperoo, I remember, were really strong, as they always are. But those 2 teams, it was very, tough head-to-head games, and so it was no easy run at all to get through that season. And for me myself, I was dropped a couple of times down to the reserves as well that year, and so I was really proud at the end to sort of be able to play in the senior team and in that grand final, and it was amazing. I remember the day. I was down at Bond Uni because of the COVID rules. They had to have it close enough to the border that the New South Wales players could come over and play. And so sadly it wasn't at Yeronga, which would have been awesome. But yeah, we went down to Bond and did it there. And it was so much fun the whole day. Everyone's family and friends there. And it was a bit of a whitewash in the end. We I think won by about 60, 70 points or something. Not that Coolangatta weren't tough to play against. They always are, but we were just quite lucky. We piled on a lot of goals quite early. And so the last quarter was a lot of fun to play, kind of knowing you'd won it at that point. And yeah, the bus ride back to the clubhouse was a lot of fun as well. So yeah, it was a really great day. And something that I'll always be pretty proud that I got to be a part of. So hopefully in this year or the next couple of years, we'll be able to do the same thing again with this new team.
I've won 2 premierships in my junior career at Darebin, one in my first year of juniors and then one in my last year. So it was a pretty full circle moment. In my first premiership, that was my first year, so I wasn't very confident with my playing ability, but I remember my favorite moments of the day was getting my hair braided and getting ribbons put in and getting like face paint, and just being there with all the girls was my favorite part. I think I sat on the bench for about 3.5 quarters, but I still got my medal and was just the happiest person in the world. But my second premiership meant a lot more, I think. In my what I didn't know would be my last year of under 18s, the year before COVID. So I was still only 16, but it was like one of the best days ever. I think our team that year was just everyone loved each other so much, and I'm still friends with everyone like to this day. And the day was just the most amazing feeling. After the siren went, I don't know if I've ever hugged people so hard and squeezed them that tight. And yeah, lifting the trophy up was pretty good, with all of the girls that had just become my best friends. So we'd had a pretty strong year. Most of us had just come back from like our NAB League commitments halfway through the season. So we had a few Knights girls as well as me from Cannons, and then we all just gelled really quickly, and I'd known the girls for a couple of years before that. So yeah, it was just one of the most amazing feelings, and hopefully, yeah, we can get one this year, because I'd love to have a senior premiership as well, because my dad said junior ones don't count, but we'll see how it goes. Mind you, he was coaching me that day as well, so it should count for him.
What does the sport of football mean to both of you, especially playing at Yeronga, South Brisbane?
Playing footy means a lot to me. I mean, it's been in my life for so long and it's just always been there. I mean, apart from when COVID was hitting the scene and I was in my room all day, every day, I just would still remember, like, know that footy would always be there for me, whether I was having a tough week at school or at uni. And I know I'd get to go to training at least twice a week and play a game on the weekend. I'd look forward to it every week. So to still be here and enjoying it is such an amazing feeling, and having the opportunity to come up to a club like Yeronga and with such a great culture that it has around the club, it's just made enjoying footy so much easier. And not, it's easy to feel pressure for yourself in such a high level as well. So having such good girls around me and a club like Yeronga is so perfect for that. So yeah, it's just been really easy to keep enjoying my footy at such a good club.
Yeah, I agree with everything Pepper said. Yeronga's such a great community to be a part of, you know, outside of just the team. The whole club is, especially, you know, we've done a lot as a club in the last couple of years around inclusivity, and a few years ago we obviously had that video go viral of a moment with Jamie Howe where we all learnt the song in Auslan, and I think that's like the epitome of what we are and what we now want to really be known for as a club, is a team that's inclusive of any ability, any age, any you know, gender. Anyone can come along and play there, and that really is reflected in the girls that we get to play with and the girls we get to run out alongside of, and that makes it such a great place to come to. You never feel like you don't belong there, and you never feel like you're not good enough to be there, and I think that's just what it means to me, is such a great group of girls to be around. And it's so much fun, football. It's more fun when you're winning somehow, and with a group like this it's still fun when you're losing. And I think again that's reflected in the fact that all of our girls stayed after, you know, a bit of a tough year last year. Everyone stuck around and wanted to still be here. So yeah, the culture that we have there is amazing, and I don't think could be replicated anywhere else really, the way it is at our club. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun to be around, and that's really why I keep playing, is just to be around this group of friends, and get to play there with my partner as well, and some of my best friends, and that's the best part about it.
So I have to ask both of you, what have both of you learnt from each other on and off the field?
Oh, that's a good question.
I've learned that we share a pretty big love for Taylor Swift. Probably the main thing that I share with Courtney. No.
There's a really core group of Swifties at Yeronga, and the last few weeks have been the best. I've learned a couple of good dance moves from Pepper too. She's a trained dancer, and she's pulled those out a few times, so I've definitely learned that. But I've definitely learned a lot of, or you know, yeah, a lot of like resilience from Pep. She is so passionate about the sport and just never gives up and always tries, and gives everything 100%. And that's something that I really admire about her, and is something that I always want to try and be better at too. And so that's something I've learned from Pep, as well as the dance moves.
Something I've definitely taken from Donza is her leadership and ability to just connect with every single person that she meets. Like when I first came to Yeronga, I think Donza was one of the first people I spoke to, and she just had this energy that made me want to learn more about her. And just seeing the way she is with everyone is really making me make more of an effort to connect with everyone around the club as well. Just, yeah, and aspire to be a leader like her one day within the team. So yeah, it's really good to have her around.
What will be your advice to people in Brizzy that should head down to Lotram Park to support the Mighty Devils for this upcoming season?
Well, I think definitely just get down there. It's so much fun, even if you're not a you know, rusted on passionate Yeronga fan. It's such a fun environment just to be on a game day. You know, we've got the food trucks and the music and the hill that everyone can sit on, and I think it's just a great place to just be on a nice day. But you know, we would really love to build a group of fans that come down and support us, and it goes such a long way having people cheering for you and silent when the opposition does something as well. So yeah, I think it'll be a really great season to watch us for sure. And, you know, the last few years have been a bit quiet, but I think this year will be a really great one to come down and watch. We have so many amazing young players, like Pepper included, who could be stars of the game one day. And so it'd be great for people to come down and see them play in their first sort of couple of senior seasons as well at a club. So yeah, I definitely would encourage people to come down and enjoy the day and support us.
Yeah, I think when people come down and watch our games, they'll just see how much of a community club Yeronga is. Like, we're really for the people. We love expanding our community, no matter who wants to come watch us. Yeah, I think we're going to play a really exciting brand of footy this year and hope to please the crowd with hopefully some speckies or some show-stopping goals from Donza herself, like bananas from the pocket or something. But yeah, I think we've got a really exciting year up ahead, and it's should be hopeful for people coming to watch. Yeah.
And let's finish off a couple of light-hearted questions about your teammates, which is, who's the comedian, the best singer, and the best dancer on the team?
Definitely the best dancer is Pepper. Like I said, trained professional, and definitely schools the rest of the team in that regard. Although we do, one of our co-captains this year, Camilla, is a pretty good dancer as well. She needs no excuse to bust out a move to a song. So I would have to say the two of you guys would make a good little dance team.
I was definitely going to say Killer for that one. She loves having a little boogie.
What was it? Oh, comedian. Comedian I actually think would be, we have a girl, her name's Huey. She is hilarious. That is just one of those girls that doesn't even need to try, just says something she doesn't think is funny at all, even, yet somehow is just like hilarious. And she's really funny. You can't not laugh when she's around. Reckons her celebration this year for kicking a goal is going to be a backflip, which we're all pretty excited for. Don't know how that'll go, but she, I reckon, would be up there for comedian.
Yeah, I'd agree. Definitely Huey. She loves doing things out of the blue and just not caring what other people think. So some of her statements can be a bit outrageous, but that's what makes us all love her. So yeah.
Courtney just mentioned before that obviously you're a fantastic dancer. Have you tried to get your teammates involved in this dance moves that you do?
I haven't really tried to get anyone involved. I tried to keep it on the down low until it got outed last year, but no, maybe we'll have to make a flash mob or something for the start of the season. I don't know, post it to the Instagram. We'll see how we go.
You know, like in an NFL game when they score a touchdown, they have like a little dance. That's what I think you need to lead. You need to do our little dance numbers for when we get a goal.
All right, stay tuned.
Okay. Well, when I come up to Queensland, make sure that happens. Do either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
I used to wear my socks up when I played. From my very first game, I can't remember exactly the reason, but my dad said just do it, and so then I wore them up every game until I came up here and it got too hot sometimes for my legs to wear the long socks. So I don't really have that ritual anymore or superstition. It varies week to week, depends how I'm feeling. Sometimes I put my boots on left first and then right. I usually do that every week. Tie my hair up after the warm up. So nothing important, but yeah, little things like that.
I'm a bit the same. I don't think any kind of set routine or superstition. I used to always have the same breakfast before footy on a game day, which was bacon, eggs, hash brown, all the good stuff, but not really a superstition. I think it was just a good excuse. No one always running around to be able to have a hash brown for breakfast and not feel guilty about it. So I don't really do that anymore, but yeah, don't really have anything else outside of that.
So a two-part question to finish off. Now, Pepper, you're from here in Melbourne. Do you miss Melbourne?
There's definitely parts that I do miss. I definitely don't miss the weather changing every single hour of the day, but the city is pretty good in Melbourne. I have heaps of my friends down there, obviously from school and everything, but I've definitely made a good community around me up here. So Brisbane's definitely the place I'd love to be right now. And I wouldn't see myself moving back anytime soon. And just seeing how much footy has grown up here as well in Queensland, it's amazing. Like the difference from even a couple of years ago when I moved up here, even in the style of footy that my teams that I played in have started playing, it's just really good. And I think especially seeing the Queensland girls win against Tasmania last year, which Donza was a part of, really good to see how much Queensland has really stepped up in that area. So watch out for the rest of Australia.
The last one is any good nicknames in the team we should know about?
I had one, I thought one of our new girls, Phoebe, has a nickname Bulldog. And I actually could not tell you what it means. She told me to call her Bulldog and I went with it. I actually don't know where it's come from, but we're just rolling with it. So I think that's probably one of the only, not many people have a different nickname to their name. If it's kind of like Pepper's nickname is Pep. Like we're pretty just keeping things short and simple. And so Bulldog, I think, is one of the better out there nicknames that we have.
I've recently come up with a nickname for one of the newer girls, and hasn't started responding quite confidently to it yet, but she'll get there by the end of the season. Soraya, I asked her for her nickname at the start of or midway through preseason, and she said Rye. And so then I asked her how she would spell it, and she said R-I, but I was thinking like R-Y-E, like the bread. So now I just call her Sourdough, which, yeah, that's the link through there, yeah. Matches her initials as well, so it's not too far, yeah.
I love that most nicknames are like shortening a name, whereas you've gone for like a really long version of a name.
Yeah.
Well, both of you, thank you so much for giving up some of your time to join us. Best of luck, obviously, for the upcoming season, and I can't wait to come up to Brisbane to watch these all play, and I'll be making sure I'll be wearing my Yeronga shirt to make sure I come and support you when I come up to Brisbane a little bit later on in the season.
Yeah, great. We can't wait to have you there.
Thank you so much for having us.
No worries. And that's Pippa and Courtney there. Join us from the Yeronga South Brisbane Footy Club. And of course, if you want to get down there, of course, and support the team, we'll put all the details up on their games coming up in season 2024. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away here on the TC Celebration.